Hey everybody, this episode is being sponsored by BadderSports. Once we hit 500 subscribers, BadderSports is donating $5,000 to Toys for Tots. Please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to visit the foundation of Toys for Tots and feel free to donate yourselves. We look forward to another great year for Toys for Tots and another great year for BadderSports. Thanks so much for being a fan, and we love being a part of great organizations. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Swing Batter. You've watched Jake Arrieta and you've watched Jacoby Ellsbury, and now you get to watch who had the worst swing batter contract. Todd and I get to go up against each other against the fabulous judge, my father. Dad, how are you feeling tonight about judging this episode before we pick who has who? You feeling good? All rested?
Our fans can rest assured this will be an honest answer, because even though I solicited it, I got no bribes from either of you. So I've got to make a decision without money.
This is a good thing. Todd, you're going to get to go first, and you're going to end up with which of the J's? You go with Jake or Jacoby?
I've always been a fan of Jake the Snake, probably one of the most perfect wrestlers the WWF ever produced. So I'll take Jake Arrieta.
There we go. Away you go with Jake, the pitcher.
So why do you believe this is the worst contract?
All right. First of all, I got to rewind to 2015, 2016 to set expectations. When Jake is the toast of Chicago, he's mowing down batters like a lawnmower on a mission from God. It's 2015. This is his magnum opus, and this is probably one of the best stat lines I've ever seen for a pitcher ever. Wins the Cy Young, of course he does. He has a 22-6 record, and he has a 1.77 ERA and a no-hitter against the Dodgers. All of that puts him into my favorite pitcher of all time. And so he has fans wondering if he's human or if he's some sort of baseball demigod that's come down to lead the Cubs to the promised land. So we fast forward to 2018, and what do you think the Phillies think they're buying? What do you think they're buying? They're buying massive expectations because the Phillies need to defeat the Braves. There's one thing you need to know about the National League East, is that the Braves have got to go. And so what they're going to do is they're going to pray to the baseball gods, and their savior is going to be Jake Arrieta. So they give him a 3-year, $75 million contract with massive expectations, okay? I know math is hard for some of you. That's $25 million a year. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money for the time. Now, small island in the Caribbean or Jake Arrieta. You take your pick, right? So this is where the contract really falls off the cliff, and it's talking about expectations to reality, okay? So the Phillies are expecting Arrieta of 2015. Instead, what they get is more like a 1990s fax machine, right? It's really kind of unreliable, it's prone to breakdowns, and it's completely out of date. So the first year with the Phillies, Arrieta manages, it's respectable, but really unremarkable 3.96 ERA. That's not 177. It's not bad, but it's definitely not worth $25 million, because I could probably replace that with an $8 million pitcher at the time. But it gets worse or better. It kind of depends on your perspective on this thing. By 2019, his ERA is a 4.64, and he spends a good chunk of time on the injured list. This is not the Arrieta that they bought. And then in 2020, he goes to a 5.08 ERA in a season so short, you'd think that this whole COVID thing was created just to save Arrieta from himself, right? So injuries. He has a surgery to remove a bone spur. It's horrible. I talked about this in the podcast. I don't even know what that is. All I imagine is a bone floating around, stabbing you in the elbow. So they paid him basically $75 million to be like Lieutenant Dan and Forrest Gump, to sit there on the bed and eat ice cream and be angry. Okay? That's it. That's this whole thing. What I don't understand, and the pièce de résistance on this whole thing, is that the Cubs come back because they're nostalgic and they pay him $6 million for a 6.88 ERA. I know that's not part of it, but I'm just throwing that in as evidence that it's almost like being addicted to like like sour foods. It's just horrible, but you just keep going back and eating it over and over and over again. It's bad. It's bad. And it's really the expectations. You went from Cy Young, probably one of the best pitching seasons of all time, to just an absolute unmitigated disaster.
Well, Brennan, present your case for Jacoby Ellsbury.
I'm going to do something a little different. I believe we have really smart fans. I also believe they don't know what a fax machine is. I can believe both of those things because they're our fans. So I don't need to give you the stats of this. I'm just going to give you the emotion, the pure raw emotion of the Yankees and the Red Sox. Jacoby won a World Series with the Boston Red Sox. He was a fan favorite. He was a homegrown talent, if you will. And the moment that the Yankees went and stole their treasure by paying him a massive treasure of $153 million, it was glorious on all accounts. Everybody was super happy. The Yankees thought they were blocking the Red Sox from a future World Series by taking away a corner piece of their lineup, and in turn giving themselves the very corner piece that they needed to then take them to the World Series. The best part about all this, as a swing batter fan, is when a team thinks they have checkmate and they don't even have a game in player of the game. This wasn't checkmate. This was nothing. Boston said bye, and they were all upset, and he leaves and goes to the Yankees. Sure enough, the Yankees don't go to a World Series. Jacoby doesn't help them get there. He's not the corner piece that they thought he was. So the fans are getting angry. The fans are getting upset. And Boston's sitting over there going, man, did this turn out great. Not only did we not have to spend the money because we didn't have it, but the Yankees spent it, thought they were blocking us, and in turn hurt themselves. This is the perfect kick yourself in your own butt scenario. And anybody who doesn't like the Yankees, which is me, and you, Dad, knows that this is one of the best flavors of ice cream you can eat. It's great to make, it's great to taste, and you can have an infinite amount. And in this case, 4 years of playing, 3 years of sitting. Thank you, Jacoby. Your contract was glorious. And the Red Sox were the big winners, and the Yankees were the big losers.
I have a money question for both of you, if you know the answer. How much were the Cubs paying Arrieta? I know he went to the Phillies for over $20 million a year. What did the Cubs pay him the last year? Do you know that one, Todd?
So it wasn't $20 million a year. He was actually paid more per year than Jacoby Ellsbury. He was paid $25 million per year. And the percentage of time that he sat out was almost the exact same percentage of time that Jacoby Ellsbury sat out on his contract. So if we're going to do maths and prorate this thing, it's about the same, but I think it's the emotional damage that we have to look at. I mean, if you look at Philadelphia, their mascots alone should tell you what's going on in that city. They got big problems. $6 million was what the Cubs paid.
And he went to 25.
Well, no, before the contract.
Yeah, what did he make with the Cubs?
No, I think he was at $10 million because he had avoided arbitration.
Okay, he went from 10 to 25. What about Jacoby? How much were the Red Sox paying him? And then he went to the Yankees for over 20.
Yeah, he got 20.
Barely over 20.
$21 million per year. You know, it's a nice seven-year deal. Everyone's pretty happy with it.
In New York.
Do you know what the Red Sox were paying him?
I can tell you that the Red Sox didn't pay him, but he barely made the $20 million he got per year for the whole time he was with the Red Sox. So while he won a World Series, he collected a certain amount of money. Not that that matters, because we're not into stats and figures here. What we are into is, this was like Facebook trying to create a three-dimensional universe. For my friends out there that are more aware than fax machines, when they got Jacoby Ellsbury, they thought they were creating the brand new Yankees, the brand new world that you're going to want to be in your 3D universe of caricatures. It just didn't work out, just like it did for Mr. Zuckerberg. It didn't work out for the Yankees either. And I'm still waiting to meet that board meeting with Mr. Bryan and Mr. Zuckerberg in my 3D basement.
I'm ready for my decision. I decided the winners clearly were both the Red Sox and the Cubs. They were big winners. And the big losers were the buyers. So we really have two tremendous examples of buying high and selling low that the Yankees and the Phillies did. They're both complete train wrecks. I am going to award the worst contract to Jacoby Ellsbury, Myers, whatever his name is, because he had 7 years of money. 7 years. So he's definitely a clear winner. And the Yankees really, I think, they're both losers, but we give the Yankees the bigger loss.
Yeah, I got to admit, if you awarded it to Jake Arrieta, I'd be worried about you. And I would change my name to Ellsworth too if I had $153 million.
The nice thing is when we do these episodes, folks, this is not just for your entertainment. We are also just doing some checks on Dad to make sure he's still, strong, vibrant, has many more years with us, which we're very excited to announce he hasn't lost it. So that's his judgment. If you have a different one, please post the comments. Please also suggest any players that you would like us to have a versus with, a nice ring match, if you will. We got plenty of contracts. Baseball's guaranteed. And you know the phrase, buy high, sell low. Thanks for tuning in to Swing Batter, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, Todd. Thanks, Dad.
Bye.
Bye.